Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is May 2nd, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see BC, Washington, Oregon. See the system moving through this morning. Actually brought some snowfall to some of the higher terrain of eastern Oregon, but you can see we've got some clear skies out there for some of Washington and BC as well. But if you look out across the Pacific Ocean, you can clearly see our next storm system out here across the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to be making its way in here as we go over the next few days. We're going to dive into those details. We'll take a look at the extended forecast as always as we go through the video today. So looking at the GOES 18 satellite imagery, you can see some of that nice sunshine out there, the snow-capped mountains. There's Mount Rainier, and you can see the system sliding through Oregon here. Now taking a look at eastern Washington, look at this. Here we go, Saturday through Sunday night. Look at some of these very beneficial rainfall amounts, and we'll go over just what we went through in the month of April as well, because some places were pretty abnormally dry here, but this is going to be definitely beneficial. Not good for dust devil chasers out here across eastern Washington. Now, taking a look at snow chances, this is diminishing as we go through the afternoon, but I just did want to point this out for some of Oregon. You guys are still dealing with some of that snowfall. It's supposed to wrap up here as we go through the evening hours, however. Now, taking a look at 500 millibars, 18,000 feet, you can see the system kind of sliding through associated with that across Oregon right now. And then the next one, hot on its heels, really diving down towards Oregon and California. But this is going to have some wraparound moisture, and that's why there's not going to be that same rain shadowing effect here across eastern Washington. We're going to have some southerlies and some southeasterly winds here, so you're not going to be subject to the typical rain shadowing that usually is brought on by the Cascades here with the westerlies here drying things out quite a bit. So that's why that beneficial rain is going to occur with a nice track as it goes through Oregon and California here, and then we kind of keep that troughing going here, but we may start to build a ridge through the extended forecast. Also more on that here in a moment as well. So taking a look at the system right here, we're looking at 850 millibars, 5,000 feet. Now put this into motion here. You can see the system move across, then you see the next storm system up here. We get the southerlies out ahead of it, and then as this thing drops down to the south, you can see some of these winds here as we go through Saturday. This is out of the southeast. That's why, again, the rain shadowing will not be as big a deal there across eastern Washington as it normally is. Same thing for eastern Oregon. This is going to be beneficial precipitation amounts here across the region as that continues to slide through as we go on in towards Sunday afternoon. Now looking at total snow and inches, just kind of a general broad look at things here. But as you see our next system start to roll in here as we go through the weekend, you can see there's going to be some cascade snowfall. Could even bring a couple inches to Snoqualmie Pass. Some of the Rocky Mountains getting another shot of snowfall here as well. Idaho, Montana, Oregon Cascades. So yeah, we will definitely take it at this time of year. We've been abnormally dry across the mountains, so we will definitely take what Mother Nature wants to throw at us. And if we take a look at today, not bad out there. As I showed you, we're dealing with some sunshine. You can see the valleys really warming up here. Look at Seattle into the mid and upper 60s for some of western Washington. It's going to feel glorious out there. Slower to warm up here, of course, across Oregon with the cloud cover across the area right now. And you can see eastern Oregon pretty chilly here. But as we go through tomorrow, look at this. Maybe a 70-degree reading across western Washington. Trying to warm up a little bit here across western Oregon, but look at eastern Washington, 75s out there, and get in the valley areas nice and warm. Look at southwest BC up towards 70 degrees also. But as we go into Saturday, you'll see these temperatures just chopped down here for western portions, and we start to feel the cool down even east of the mountains as we get on in towards Sunday, as that system is going to be spreading precipitation up and across much of the region. There's Monday. Tuesday of next week, Thursday, we're got this slow, arduous climb going here. And look at by next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we got some warm temperatures maybe on tap here as we go towards the end of next week. We'll see how that works out here over, the next few days. We'll be breaking that down and looking at that. But that is not a bad signal right there. And if we look at the 6-hour precipitation here with mean sea level pressure, I'm going to put this into motion, and we're going to pay attention to this next system rolling in here. Here we go through the day Friday, approaching the coastline Friday night, starts to move into the interior regions here. And again, you can kind of see it pivot across Oregon and California. It's going to spread some of this wraparound moisture back up into eastern Washington. This is going to be very beneficial here to some of the farmers out there, definitely, as we're going through Saturday and on into Sunday here. And you can kind of see some of the snow, some of this will be snowfall for the higher terrain of the Cascades as well. We'll get some of these amounts here more in a moment. Day one, the thunderstorm outlook. You can see it does include some of eastern Oregon, Idaho here. It does clip northeast Washington. And again, this is for today, Thursday. Here's Friday. Not much of a threat here, but we do start to introduce that thunderstorm threat again across some of western Oregon as we go through the day Saturday. Now, taking a look at SeaTac, 58 for the high yesterday. 63 is the average high for this time of year. And the all-time daily record high is 85 back in 2014. Man, I can't even imagine what that would be like today. 87 is the record high for today, set back in 2016. And if we go down to 2008, the earliest 90-degree day there at 90 degrees there back in 2008 on May 17th. I remember that one, pretty warm day. And you can see we also had some 90-degree readings back in the 60s in May as well. And if you look at the end of the month, 69 degrees, the average high temperature for this time of year as we go towards the end of May 31st. So we have that to look forward to. And we average about 1.88 inches of precipitation for the month of May. Now look at average temperature departure from average here, and you can see there's a big mixed bag going on here. You can see some places substantially above, some places below, but places off to the east like Montana was pretty warm here as we went through the month of April. Wyoming, a lot of Idaho as well, and some of eastern Oregon, and some of western Washington. Some of the coastal range there, Oregon above average also. And you can see the percent of average precipitations here. So interesting signal, pretty darn right dry April. You can see some of the Yakima area here, Tri-Cities in western Washington, Oregon, pretty downright dry. So this next system in here will be definitely beneficial. And if you want a nice weather station, record all your own weather, haptic rain gauge, ultrasonic anemometer, click on that link down below to save 10% off. It's got a great smartphone app there as well, and a lightning detection system, highly recommended. Great for the price. Now taking a look at the National Blend model. So let's put this into motion and see what we can expect. Ongoing precipitation today wrapping up. Then we wait for the next storm system here as we go through Friday afternoon and evening. Look at that, up over a half an inch for Seattle. Not bad. Lesser amounts the further you go north, because we saw the storm track here is going to be bringing that thing down into Oregon and California. But look as we go on in towards Sunday and Sunday night here. Look at this, over half an inch for some of these areas. That is a lot of rainfall for eastern Washington, especially starting to get into the May months here. And you can see some of that wraparound moisture still across the Cascades as well. Some decent amounts. I mean, look at some of these areas getting 3+ inches of precipitation across the Oregon Cascades, the coastal range, and maybe by the time we're all said and done, up towards an inch for Seattle, and even higher amounts for places like Portland down into the Willamette Valley here. So interesting weather coming up here as we go through the weekend into the early portion of next week. And if you look at Seattle, I mean, enjoy today and tomorrow, because we are going to drop those temperatures off. Highs only into the 50s here before we have the chance to warm up as we go through the extended forecast. Same thing for Salem, Oregon, Pasco, Washington, no exception, and Yakima as well. And if we look at Yakima, you can see we are calling for maybe up towards 0.7 of an inch of rain if you believe the European model as far as the ensemble mean. That is very beneficial here for the eastern portions for sure. Now looking at 6 to 10 day, we can see the below average signal as we go through May 11th. We got this kind of a mixed bag here. Some of the west coast were right around average, maybe above average here as we go through May 11th as well. And just a reminder, there is a Canadian drought monitor. Hopefully we can get some improvement on this. It doesn't look like this system's going to do much good for that, although some snow will be coming across the Rockies. But, there's a lot of extreme and exceptional drought out there, a lot of severe and moderate drought out there as well. And when we get certain setups here, if we get high pressure over the area, that can really easily bring some of these easterly winds across the region and back into the Pacific Northwest and back out into Southwest British Columbia also. So this does matter, and it matters huge as far as, some of the smoke coverage we get during the summer months. So hopefully we can improve on this as we go. Now, so we'll just continue to break this down day by day. You can clearly see our next storm system out here, and we'll watch that extended forecast because it's always exciting to get some nice weather at this time of year. And right now, some of the models are pointing at that. But, of course, we'll be breaking that down day by day. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.